Hey guys, I'm here to talk about Devildriver album. The Fury of the Maker's Hand, this one here. This is actually just a printout that I'm holding because I don't actually own the album, unfortunately. But at least I got my t-shirt on. Devildriver is an American heavy metal band from Santa Barbara, California, formed in 2002. The band was originally named Death Ride. However, due to copyright issues and the name being taken by several bands, Death Ride changed its name to Devildriver, which refers to bells Italian Wiccans used to drive away evil forces. That's kind of cool. The band returned to the studio in 2005 to record their follow-up Devildriver album, their self-titled one in other words. The album was produced, the album being Fear of the Maker's Hand, at Sonic Ranch Studios at El Paso, Texas. The band members wanted to be isolated when recording the album so that they could solely focus on the music, as friends, family, managers, and girlfriends would constantly interrupt them, and I can see that. And roughly 30 songs were written, which was narrowed down to 15 by the band. 15 songs were then played to producer Colin Richardson, who wanted to begin tracking immediately. So that right there is a pretty cool tidbit of information. Like having an original 30 songs and then taking that down to 15. Kind of wondering, where the other 15 songs are, or if they're already on a bonus disc or something, or if we're going to see something like that in the future. The name of the album was thought out by Farfara, the vocalist, who believed that Fear of the Maker's Hand refers to, and I quote, the storm his life has been the past 10 years. And this is a quote by him: "You have your maker's hand, and I have my maker's hand, and we both living in our fury. The fury of our maker's hand, it explains my life," unquote. The album was released on June 28, 2005, and debuted on the Billboard Top 200 chart as number 17, and sales of the record was 10,402 in the first week. The album also debuted at number 1 on the Top Heat Seekers chart. Johnny Loftus of AllMusic described the album as a severe turn away from the falter of their first album, and said that the band made a true debut the second time around. Dom Lawson of Kerrang! Magazine gave the album a positive review, describing the album as a fresh and exhilarating approach to modern metal. I will back up both these guys, what these guys have to say, because I love this album. I absolutely love it. It's one of my all-time favorites by this band. End of the Line, like the first track on the album, has to be my favorite track off the album, and it's solely my favorite Devildriver track to date, and it will probably remain being my favorite one as they keep pushing out albums. But it was after Fury of the Maker's Hand that the band, they toured relentlessly in support of the album, which includes shows in the United States, Europe, Australia, and support bands such as In Flames, Fear Factory, and Machine Head. I'm not a big fan of In Flames, but Fear Factory is pretty brutal, and so Machine Head is really fucking brutal and really fucking loud. I saw them open up for Death Clock last year. The band played for the first time as a headliner in the Burning Daylight Tour. On October 31st, 2006, Fear of the Maker's Hand was re-released to include 3 new studio tracks, including Digging Up the Corpses, that's also a slow and good song, which was featured on the soundtrack of Resident Evil Apocalypse. I had no idea. I've never even seen the movie. The release also contained 3 live recordings of previous releases and a DVD of all the band's music videos, new cover art, and inside liner notes. That's pretty cool. I just got lost here for a second. I've never seen the movie, but Devildriver's music has been widely described as an amalgamation of groove metal and melodic death metal. All the members have stated they are influenced by several types of music. Some of them are not within the heavy metal genre. Miller's influences include Metallica, Opeth, Slayer, and In Flames, and states that many of the bands he tours with influences his songwritings. Farfara, the vocalist, influences include Johnny Cash and Motorhead, stating he likes people with low voices. Members of Motorhead stated, I screwed that up. Members of Devildriver can be seen on the Machine Head's Elegies DVD, citing Machine Head as an influence. Broken's, the drummer, main influence into becoming a percussionist came from his enjoyment of Metallica, Primus, and Ministry. I've been a huge fan of Devildriver for years. Farfara has been an inspiration and my personal metal vocal technique. I think of Devildriver as a dirtier version of Lamb of God, Lamb of God is also one of my favorite bands. And when I say dirtier, I mean it in a very, very good way. I first found Devildriver when I searched metal into LimeWire, and the song off their first album, I Could Care Less, showed up. The song broke my Devildriver cherry, and after that I was on a manhunt, searching relentlessly for anything Devildriver could get my hands on, because I was hooked from the start. And I must say, I haven't used LimeWire in a good 6 years, so that tells you how long I have been a fan. I have supported this band. I have seen them 3 times live. First, they were headlining, and Suffocation was the band opening up for them. Then I saw them a couple months later when they came back with Mirror. I'm not a big fan of Mirror, but when Devildriver came on, they were pretty intense and definitely well worth like the $20 ticket. And then I saw them again while they were supporting their Beast album, which is also, it's pretty good. The only Devildriver album they have that really turned my nose was Pray for Villains, because I just found it really watered down. You know, it sounds like they just wanted to pump it out as fast as they could. But Beast, Pray for Villains was before Beast. Beast was a good album, and they actually just released another album called Winter Kills. That's the first Devildriver album I have, because I pre-ordered it with a jacket. Damn it, I should be wearing my jacket right now. I forgot I owned it. And so my hopes for Devildriver, they're still good, and I hope that they'll be good for many more years to come, and I'll be able to see them many more times, as well as you guys if you do like this band. And if you don't like this band, I'd suggest you check them out, because it'd be well worth your time.